tried it and then it didn't work out, did that kind of put you off? Or were you like, you know what, it didn't work out, but there's something about this that speaks to me that I really enjoy, and I'm definitely going to have another stab at it?
Yeah, Imran, that's exactly it. When I had to sort of fold up that operation and go back and work for the man, so to speak, I was like, I think I'm going to get another look at this. And when I do, I'm going to make sure that I approach it differently. I want to build a more sustainable business than shooting from the hip trading, and build something where I can stack chips and that's got some longevity. And so, like, when the opportunity then came around, which was basically forced out of frustration, I had a very different approach to it.
Right. So you learned from those things that didn't work, and then you're like, okay, you had plenty of time to think that through because you actually did have a paycheck for a little while, and then you kind of put those things into place and then go for it. And now you've got some real insight from what doesn't work and what is more likely to work.
Yeah, I wanted to own. I knew that I loved owning and running a business, but I realized that pushing money around is not sustainable, right? Like being a trader and just sitting there and facing markets and saying, I'm going to battle them all day, every day. You don't produce anything. You don't make anybody smile, right? You don't create goodwill. You don't.
Well, you make them smile if they make money, though, surely.
Yeah, well, if you trade in someone else's money, sure, you're making them smile, but that's a different relationship thing, and you're not always going to be able to make money forever, and you're not going to be able to keep investors happy forever, no matter what.
True. So I guess it's not just about making other people smile; it's also about making yourself smile, right? You got to do something that speaks to your heart, speaks to your soul, and you can get up in the morning and want to do that every day, right?
Yeah, it's something more fulfilling, Imran. I kind of get a chuckle out of people on FinTwit or people in finance that poke fun at sort of newsletter authors like me and Jared Dillian and Tom Thornton and say, if you guys were so smart and so good at markets, why do you have to write a newsletter? Why don't you just sit there and trade and get rich, And it's like, because we like helping people and building an actual business, you idiots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I guess that's people who haven't been in the game in a big way for a long period of time. They haven't experienced the burnout that goes with that, right? The intensity of that role where you feel every P&L swing and the stress that comes with that and the inability to really ever switch off from that. I mean, it's like footballers quit at 35. Why?
Yeah.
Because that job is so demanding on their physique, right? I would say to some extent being a trader is very, very demanding, the intensity of that on your mind, right? And you do experience, I mean, I've experienced it. I've been a trader for over 20 years, so I know exactly what that feels like. And large part of why I do what I do, and I would never want to go back to a seat, certainly in a bank. A fun seat, maybe I'd consider it, who knows, one day, but like just that intensity, when you've got young kids and you've got other priorities in your life, you don't need that intensity, like taking up all your headspace, right?
You're so right, Imran. I was trying to raise a family at that time, and living on the emotional roller coaster of P&L swings is not a way to live a calm, mindful, peaceful life.
100%.
You know what I mean? You're literally just throwing, and what I wanted to do by starting a new business that sold something was to squash the professional volatility in my life. You know what I mean? The extremes were so extremes. Oh my God, I'm losing money. I'm doing so amazing. I only have to do this for 5 more years and I'll be done. And thinking crazy thoughts like that come along with making money and thinking you're smart. And then on the downside, you can give all of that money back and be down money and be like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. Like, I don't know if I should put another trade on. I've been so wrong lately, And so that roller coaster.
Okay. But I will say it's a different kind of a roller coaster. So I agree with you. The P&L roller coaster is extreme. But correct me if I'm wrong, like my experience of running a business, that's a freaking roller coaster too, because you start a business, you think you're on the trajectory, you've nailed the business model, it makes a load of sense, and then something happens and you have to pivot and you have to reorientate your business. You have to almost start again. And it's like, I've had to do that about 5 times. I've only been going for 6 years. So for me, it's been a roller coaster too on that front.